Okay, well, hello. It's been a long time. My apologies. I always seem to be apologising for being a little late with my releases, but I've had a few issues and they're slowly getting better. Anyway, back to what's happening. Got some big-ish news. We've moved workshop and it has been hell. There's no two ways to put it. So I will give you a little pan. Our little workshop is now this workshop. So it's in an absolute state of disarray. Although we are doing some nice-ish stuff now, there's some stuff there for an artist. We've got our sheet rack sorted, we've got our saw installed, off-cut rack, forklift with the fat ass in the way. I'll explain more about those later. We've got our little press brake, which has been a godsend. That little thing is just a mover and shaker of the business, really. It's superb. Our compressor's in. Got some customer stuff there. We've got all our benches, toolkit all set up now. We've got one bay there. There will be another bay here. Look, we're nearly organised. Woohoo! Bin. Everybody has to have a bin. We've got our drill, another little welders. What that's doing up there, I don't know, but I'll talk to the lads about it. We got a little TIG welder with our Mahusive cooling box on. It's funny, TIG cooling rigs are so darn expensive, and I made that for threepence. Well, that's old money, so 3p. And the volume of water in that, and we put some ordinary car engine coolant in it actually to stop it from going smelly and horrible. So yeah, that's what's in there. It runs. We can go all day with that one, and the water that's in there keeps the torch nice and cool. Anyway, just a thought. Thought I'd mention that. Mess. Now we're getting to the messy area. I'll explain that in a minute. Back here we've got our. It's a little bit dark. I haven't got the lights on, but this is going to be my little machine area. So if you can see, the little lathes in there, toolbox, and that's going to be a little milling machine and a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, the news is we have got this big workshop because we need to house this. That is a pallet changer for a Trump L3030. I got my hands on a 20-year-old CO2 laser. It works, sort of. So if there's anybody out there at all that listens to this channel, or might even just know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, they say we're only 7 degrees of separation from everybody in the world. I hope that's true. So that's the pallet changer and the conveyors on top. So that's the conveyor. That's the cooling cab for it. That's the motor control cab for it. And that is the laser HF generator for it. There's some pretty nasty warnings on this. I didn't realize it went up to 10,000 volts, but 10,000 volts, that is going to smart if you end up with the wrong end of that. So yeah, we got to make sure it's all wired in properly. So that's the kind of the quick update, really. We're moving forward. To be quite frank with you, we're a little shy on work at the moment, which is a pity because this is very expensive to move. Oh, those containers there, by the way, are distilled water for that one. It's incredibly expensive to move, and yeah, we'll see how we go. My office is all up there now. Can you see? It's what we in Devon call open plan. A bit agricultural, but it is what it is. Anyway, it's an update. I just wanted to share because I haven't for such a long time. Things have been difficult. I'm not going to elaborate because nobody would really care. I can't say I blame them. We've got the saw stops changed a little now. As you can see, that's pretty much all you need to do with that, and it works brilliantly. So, we can punch in 500 and it goes to 500. Yay! So that works a treat. As you can see, we've had to do a lot of wiring. I've done a lot of it myself, got it signed off by a Sparky. just general organisation and stuff. Obviously, we're not going to retire this old girl yet, because it's too important. We use it all the time. If I got rid of this, the guys would hang me from one of those. So yeah, mustn't do that. So anyway, I've Doom walked you around. That is an oxygen bank for the laser. We did have the laser running in another shed. As I can talk to you as we walk around. We had another laser. Well, you might be interested in that. That's a box that houses solar batteries and a few other bits and pieces for a local company. So yeah, we do actually make stuff occasionally. So let's Doom walk our way around here, back to the old shed and the old unit. It's a case really of I had 2 units. The landlord, bless his cotton socks, said, "Rob, I'll give you that big unit for the price of the 2 small ones." So I said, "Yep." And I said it and I shook hands without thinking, and I have to say it was probably a mistake, but there we go. So there is our laser. I don't quite know what to say about it other than it's a Trumatic L3030, 20 years, maybe 25 years old. This was the little unit that it was in. There's the mixed gases for it. So on and so forth. You can see we have had it running. We were cutting out some little test pieces and some other stuff. So it works. It works nicely. The wiring and everything. Oh man. We've already wired it in once. We used it for a brief period, and then the landlord said, "You couldn't move, could you?" And I went, "You what?" so shoot. Yeah, so we've got to do it all again. We had everything. Look, we spent on all the wiring and trunking and stuff, and we got to do it all again. So, like I say, if anybody knows anything about these, I would be really, really grateful to speak to them. I do have a Trump support contract. Not very expensive, but expensive for what you get out of it. They don't really seem too keen to help you too much, which is a little bit on the disappointing side, because you'd like to think that they'd, at least they'd be half helpful. And they are half helpful, but I have to say, seriously, only half helpful. So there you go. So that's what we've got to get going in the next we've got to get it going in the next day ideally, but it's going to be probably by the end of next month. We'll have something moving and shaking with that one. All right, so that is it. That is up to date so far. I'll keep you informed on other bits and pieces. I'm going to change the channel a little bit, not a lot. I want to set up cameras in the workshop, and I think it'd be quite good to see how a small fabrication business runs. If you're interested, do let me know, because you quite often see online, "Oh, this is what we've built, this is how we did it," and it's all fast forwarded and a few other bits and pieces. I'm not 100% sure that people, there's so much of that content. People might enjoy it, they probably do enjoy it, and it does make for excellent doom scrolly type reading. But I think it'd be quite nice if you could see how something like that is made, start to finish, really. How we go about, cutting out all of these, drawing all of these. Do we get the drawings given to us by the customer? Have we got to create them ourselves? This is some stuff here that is, this stuff is plasma cut out. We've got high definition consumables on the plasma. That's going to be a very, very good project. That's going to be definitely going to be a video, that one, without doubt. It's fabulous. And I'll show you and tell you more about that later. So there we are. That's pretty much it. What I want to do, like I say, is I think people like warts and all videos. And I don't edit. I absolutely loathe editing. I find it tedious and everything. And I kind of figure that, if you're describing this to your mate in the pub, or, your girlfriend at the WI while you're making tea and biscuits, I don't know, then you wouldn't say, oh, hang on a minute, cut out that bit. I want to tell you about this bit. So forget what I've just said. I'm going to modify it and make it sound better. I'm not into that. I don't want to modify my videos to make them look better. I don't want to modify what I do to make it look any better. We all make mistakes, and at the end of the day, experience is just a catalogue of errors. So, that's the way I look at it, and it's the way I would like to think that people would look at us and go, do you know what, these guys, they make stuff, they make a few shitty mistakes, and they make some brilliant bits and pieces. So that's the way I want to be sort of looked at, really. It's all very well doing the perfect weld and walking your TIG cup and, here's a CNC press brake doing its business. Look what I've made. Well, no, the machine kind of made it. All our stuff is manual. So we set this one up manually, and we create this sort of stuff. That's all been cut and folded using manual kit. The only thing that's not manual, of course, is our CNC plasma, because you would need one sheer steady hand to cut out bits like that. It's not going to happen, is it? So the whole idea of building it and telling you guys what I did and how I built it is so that we can produce this stuff. Our plasma cut holes, I think we're getting on, really are mastering that now. Those holes are, in the grand scheme of things, they are damn good for plasma cut holes. And it sort of begs the question as to why why I went down the route of getting a laser, actually, because, again, as far as a slot is concerned, that's not cleaned up completely. That is pretty good. It's taken us a long time to master that thing. And if you look through the previous videos, you can see exactly what I mean, because of the gearboxes we've added and, the closed loop steppers that we've added and other bits and pieces. It was all to make it better and all to make it cut as close to a laser quality as possible. And I don't think we can get much closer. I've had people coming here with lasers, beg your pardon, with CNC plasmas, and they've literally asked me, how the hell do you get your machine to do that? And it's because I didn't buy it. I built it myself. I had a spec in mind. I had tolerances in mind that I was going to, that I was going to stick to and adhere to, and that's what I did. Could it be better? Oh, always. Could it be much better? I don't know. Is it worth the time and investment to make it so much? Spend 2 weeks to gain maybe 0.1 of a mil on a dimension or something? I don't think that's worth it somehow. I really don't think it's worth it. So there we are. That's it. We are at some point next week. We're in June now, so the first week of July, the laser will be in here, and then we've got to wire that lot to that chunk outside. Then I've got to find the money then to run the cable. The cable is massive, and I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but cable of this size, that's coming out of here, is so incredibly expensive per meter. And it's not something that, they left a laser level out. It's not something that is easily affordable at the moment. As much as I would like to say, yeah, let's get it all wired in, let's just bash it out, let's take 2 days off from work and we'll put it in. I can't afford to pay my guys that kind of money. In the UK right now, the government is making a little bit of it, not a little bit, they're making a hash of what's going on. Don't want to be too political about it, but believe you me, there is zero support for small businesses. Absolutely zero. Shite all support. They talk a fight, but they are rubbish. The best thing they could do for businesses right now is just look at the taxation on businesses at under £1 million turnover a year. That's turnover, not profit, okay? Big difference. If they would do that, I think, the economy would boom. And being from a selfish point of view, I'd be able to afford to wire my laser. Woo! Anyway, there we go. That's it. If you like the content, please subscribe, hit the like button. I'm not shy. I'm not afraid of people telling me the truth or what they feel. Might not necessarily be the truth, but it can be what they feel. all I want to do is just bring you guys up to date. It's been a bit of a hard time lately. It's been very, very stressful emotionally and financially. So hopefully we're just going to come out the other side of it now. The light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train coming at me. That's what I'm hoping for at the minute. And if we get even that far, that'll be a result. Anyway, that's where we are. Thanks for watching. Really would appreciate, the likes and subscribes. I think you guys have, you've all got your own things to do, and I really, really must pull my finger out my butt and start doing more, more YouTube stuff. And like I say, the reason I'm changing the direction slightly is I want to show you how stuff's made in the real world. So if you're up for that, let us know, and take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.